there friends, welcome back to another video. So today we are going to continue to practice our CVC words, particularly with our beginning sounds. So we're going to be looking at how we can hear those beginning sounds in the words, how they change when we change that beginning sound and what new words we can make, and how we can sound out those CVC words and listen for each one of those sounds. So our lesson today is developed by our good friends over at Lexia. So we're going to go through that PowerPoint together and then we'll hop on over to Seesaw to explain what you'll be doing on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we are talking about CVC words with the beginning letters D, G, K, S, and Y. That letter Y can be tricky because remember Y says y, 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 not w. So we sometimes think that Y says w, but nope, that's the sound for W. So today we're looking at words that start with y, y, y for Y. Let's look at these three pictures here. We have a kid, kick, and key. What beginning sound do you hear in all three of those words? Kid, kick, key. Very good, friends. The beginning sound is k. Can you tell me what letter says k? Very good. K says k. So we have the letter K at the beginning of each of these words. Here we have yam, yes, and yum. What beginning sound do we hear in each of those words? Yam, yes, yum. Good. The beginning sound here is y, y, y. It's that tricky one we talked about at the beginning. Now, be careful. What letter says y? Good job. Y says y, y, y. So each of these words starts with the letter Y. Yam, yes, and yum. We hear the sound y at the beginning. Now here we have gold, goat, and gate. What beginning sound do we hear in each of those words? Gold, goat, gate. Very good. Our beginning sound is g. G, g, gold, g, g, goat, and g, g, gate. Friends, what letter says g? Very good. G says g. So each of these words begins with the letter G. Here we have sun, sit, and sock. What beginning sound do we hear in each of those words? Sun, sit, sock. Awesome. That beginning sound is s. What letter says s? Good. S says s. So each of these words here, sun, sit, sock, begins with the sound s made by the letter S. Here we have dig, den, dog. What beginning sound do we hear in each of those words? Dig, den, dog. Good. The beginning sound is d, d, d. D, d, dig, d, d, den, and d, d, dog. What letter says d? D. Very good. So D says d, meaning that each of these words begins with the letter D. All right, friends, so now let's start looking at some different words and comparing them. In our first picture, we have a boy taking a sip. In our second picture, that person is dipping their toe in the water. So we have the words sip and dip. What is the beginning sound you hear in sip? Very good. The beginning sound in sip is s, made by the letter S. As we can see, both of these words have the same ending, I-P, ip. That means that they're rhyming words. But the word dip starts with a different letter. If sip starts with the sound s and the letter S, what sound do we hear at the beginning of dip? Good, we hear the sound d. And what letter says d? D, very good. So the words sip and dip, although they do rhyme, they have different beginning sounds. Sip starts with s and dip starts with d. Here we have a word that ends in ot, O-T, and we're missing our beginning sound. The picture shows a dot. We know that the word dot has the sounds a-t in the middle and the end, so what sound do we hear at the beginning? Dot. Very good. The first sound in dot is D. Friends, can you tell me what letter says D? D. Very good. So the word dot is spelled D-O-T and pronounced D-A-T, dot. Our next word here is got. It has the same ending sound as dot, O-T, ot. That makes it a rhyming word. But our beginning sound has changed. Before we had the word d-d-dot with the sound d at the beginning. Now we have the word got. What sound do you hear at the beginning of got? Good, you hear a g, g, g. What letter says g? G, very good. G says g. So the word got is spelled G-O-T and pronounced g-a-t, got. Here we have a cot. This word also rhymes with dot and got. It has the same middle and ending sounds, ot. But our beginning sound has changed. Now the beginning sound in cot is different. Can you tell me what that beginning sound is? The word is cot. Good, the beginning sound in cot is k. What letter says k? C, very good. So the word cot is spelled C-O-T and pronounced k-a-t, cot. Now friends, if you'd like to write along with me, go ahead and grab a couple of sticky notes or note cards and a pencil, and we're going to be writing some letters on there on the next pages. If you don't have those materials with you, that's okay. Just make sure you're pointing at the screen when I'm asking you to hold up the letter. If you have those sticky notes or those note cards, you're going to be writing these letters on them. So on one note card or sticky note, you're going to write the letter Y. Then you're going to write the letter S on the next one. After that, the letter C. And lastly, the letter G. Feel free to pause this video and write those down if you would like to. If you don't have the materials, then let's just keep right on going. So let's review our sounds here, friends. We are going to be listening for these beginning sounds in the oncoming slides. So when you hear that sound, you're going to hold up the letter that matches. So let's start with this one here, Y. What sound does Y make? Be very careful. Y says Y, as in yo-yo or yellow. Y, y, Y. How about the letter S? What sound does S make? Good. S says S, as in snake or cell. Let's try the letter C. What sound does C make? Good. C says K, as in cat or cot. And lastly, let's look at G. What sound does G make? Awesome. G says G, as in good or go. So this dog here is yapping, yap. Hold up the card or tell me the letter that you hear at the beginning of the word yap. Very good. Did you hold up Y? If you did, you're absolutely correct. The first sound we hear in yap is Y. We know that Y says Y, so our first letter there is Y. The word yap is spelled Y-A-P and pronounced y-ap, yap. This tree has sap, sap. Now the word sap rhymes with the word yap. They have the same middle and ending sound, ap. But our beginning sound is different. Go ahead and hold up the card or tell me the letter that you hear at the beginning of sap. Did you hold up the letter S? If you did, you're absolutely correct. The first sound in sap is S. We know that S says S, so our first letter must be S. The word sap is spelled S-A-P and pronounced S-A-P, sap. This is a cap. The word cap also rhymes with sap. And yap. I totally forgot what our other was. Sap and yap, yes. They have the same middle and ending sound, ap. So our beginning sound is different here. What sound do you hear at the beginning of cap? Go ahead and hold up the card or tell me the letter. Did you hold up a C? If you did, you're absolutely correct. The first sound in cap is k. We know that C says k, so our first letter here is going to be C. The word cap is spelled C-A-P and pronounced k-ap, cap. This girl is eating something that's really yummy, so our word here is yum. Can you hold up the card or tell me the letter that you hear at the beginning of yum? If you held up a Y, you are absolutely correct. So this one's one of those tricky ones. The sound for Y can be kind of hard to hear, but we do hear it there anyways. Yum has the sound y at the beginning. We know that Y says y, so we know that this word has to start with a Y. The word yum is spelled Y-U-M and pronounced yum. This is a sum, or the answer to a math problem, to an addition problem. So the word sum rhymes with the word yum. It has the same middle and ending sound, but our beginning sound has changed. Go ahead and hold up the card or tell me the letter that you hear at the beginning of the word sum. If you're holding up an S, you are absolutely correct. So we hear the sound S at the beginning of sum, and since we know that S says S, we know that it has to have an S at the beginning. The word sum is spelled S-U-M and pronounced sum. Here we have gum. The word gum rhymes with yum and sum. They have the same middle and ending sounds, but our beginning sound has changed. Go ahead and hold up the card or tell me the letter that you hear at the beginning of gum. Are you holding up a G? Rock on! So the first sound in gum is G. Since we know that G says G, we can assume that there's a G at the beginning of this word. The word gum then is spelled G-U-M and pronounced gum. All right, friends, so let's wrap up and practice putting all of these skills together. Here we have a dot and a cot. What can you tell me is the same about the words dot and cot? Very good. They have the same middle and ending sounds, right? They both end in ot. That makes them rhyming words. Now, what is different about the words dot and cot? They have different beginning sounds. Very good. So the word dot starts with d, and the word cot starts with c. Good work, friends. That is all we have for today. So let's go ahead and hop on over to Seesaw and see what it is we're going to be working on. So when you get to Seesaw, friends, this is what your activity is going to look like. The first thing you need to do is write your code word over here in the box. I'm going to use my text tool to do that now. Our code word today is cot, C-O-T, cot. So I'm going to use my text tool to write that out and then move it over here into my code word box. You can also use the drawing tool to write it if that's easier. Once you've done that, you're going to write the CVC word underneath each matching picture. So for example, let's look at one here in the middle. This is a cat. See how I can hover over the little speaker and a box will pop up? If I click on that speaker, it'll read the word to me. Let's practice that now. So now, in case I didn't know what the picture was, I know what the word is. I know that I'm trying to spell the word cat. So I'm going to either use my text tool or my drawing tool to write the word cat in these blanks. As you can see, there are 3 blanks here under each picture. That's because these are CVC words, consonant, vowel, consonant, 3 letters and 3 sounds. So write down each sound you hear, think about the letters we just practiced, and after you've put a letter in each box to spell the word for each one of these pictures, you can come over here and click the green check mark to turn it in. Well, that is all we have for today. I am so impressed with how hard you have worked. Rock on, my superstars. I can't wait to see what you turn in, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye for now.